Daisy, maybe we'll start with a mid-season synopsis. What have you been satisfied with as far as improvement goes, and what would you like to see for the back half of the season?
I think, the improvements we've made with our contest method and defence have been really good. And then I think the pleasing thing kind of showcased on the weekend was that by focusing on those two things, we were still able to score really well. So the way we're trying to play, good defence sets us up to be in good positions to attack as well. So we're starting to see us do that more and more consistently. I think things to improve, even in games there's always times where certain parts of our game fall away. So just our consistency of being able to do it across 4 quarters. I don't think we've had a game yet where we've won 4 quarters. So that consistency and just continuing to add to our understanding of it is probably the focus moving forward, starting this weekend.
What was that feedback in the final quarter against the Giants when you're talking about falling away? They outscored you in the final quarter. What did you put that down to?
Just a couple of defensive breakdowns. But I think the really pleasing thing, even though the scoreboard was ticking over in their favour, our crew just kept fighting through it. It was really good to stamp the end of the game with a goal, just to show that, we're really playing the game out. So, in this competition, opposition are really good. So even in a game where you seem to be in control, they're going to come out in that last quarter and keep attacking, and they did that and were able to score. But good for us to be able to wrestle it back and get one back on them at the end.
Ella, career high 3 goals, and also it's the highest score that the Eagles have kicked. What have you noticed structurally this season comparatively to other seasons to be able to post that score?
Yeah, I think just a lot of growth all around the board. I think we've got girls who are really coming into their skin and playing their best footy this year. Girls like Shillo, Wrenchy this year as well. Just the young group is, playing their best footy. I think that's kind of helping us score a lot, and it's been really pleasing to see.
What's the feedback been structurally? I guess it's put you in better positions to score.
Yeah, I think Daisy is obviously a great communicator, so she's just pretty clear and direct with what she wants us to do, and she's, doesn't beat around the bush at all, gets straight to the point. So I think we're very open to listening to her, and whatever she says we're willing to do, and we respect her, so we want to do whatever she says.
And what's it been like just having that winning feeling this season? I'm guessing it's just been amazing for you all.
Yeah, it's crazy. It changes the vibes completely. I think it's something that all of us girls have been wanting for ages, and to finally have, we're kind of addicted to it, so we just want to keep going, and it's something that we're chasing for more success. So we're definitely looking towards the future and looking towards at finals. So we're really excited, and we love it.
What was the biggest thing that's changed this season to spark such a big turnaround? Yeah,
I think it goes without saying, it's pretty obvious the coach. I think having a coach who has so much trust in us and has so much knowledge like Daisy, I think, she just knows what she's talking about and just can kind of just bring out the best in everyone. So like I said, those young players are really getting to play their best football because of her.
And I guess a lot of fans are already dreaming of finals. What about from a player's perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I think as cliche as it sounds, you do take it one week at a time, but we really are just focusing on getting the win each round, and that obviously accumulates to finals. So it's definitely our goal, and we definitely see that as a realistic goal for this year.
Ella, I was just at the airport and I saw the girls going over for their testing, the combine testing, and they're all talking about who their heroes are now, and you mentioned. What's that feeling like now? You've become the heroes of the young girls that are coming through. Yeah,
it's very surreal. It's definitely not something I probably thought I'd happen so early in my career, but I love it, obviously, and I want to be that for those girls. But it's a bit of a pinch me moment because I feel like I still look up to lots of players in the comp. But that's a really nice feeling.
And your rapid development, I heard you talking about, so you played footy from about 4 or 5, didn't you? Yeah, so how important has that been to being the fact of how quickly you developed? Yeah,
well and truly, I think it's becoming more common throughout the comp. We've got girls like Wrenchy, Georgie, who have also played footy since I was kicked. So I think you just have that footy brain where you just, you kind of can think during the game, I think a lot clearer. I feel like that's what I've noticed, rather than having years where you stop playing footy and then having to get back into the regular things. But I think it's awesome to see, and it's definitely a difference.
So it almost develops in like an instinct.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say.
No, I didn't have it either. No, you
You've taken the competition by storm this year. What has been, I guess, the change for you this year? Like Daisy, obviously one of them. What has she done to your game?
Yeah, Daisy's been great for me. I think she's given me a bit of a licence, along with some of our mids and forward coach, to kind of not do whatever I want, but to an extent in a respectful way, just to, if I'm playing mid, I can float forward a bit, which I think kind of showed on the weekend. So I think, having coaches that can see your strengths and know how to utilise it to the best of their ability is really important.
Daisy, everyone's talking about how successful the season's been so far, 4-2. Is finals now a sort of a non-negotiable for you?
Not necessarily a non-negotiable, and we don't really sit back and talk about the season as success and that kind of thing at this stage. We're so focused on just trying to improve every week, and it's been nice that we've been able to mount wins and grow a bit of belief, and brings finals in as a realistic possibility, because I think in this shortened season, to start seasons on the other end of it and losing, it kind of takes away that hope and that purpose. But to have that live and going because we've been able to win is a great thing that gives us energy to keep improving and developing. But that's very much where our head lies. We're so early in our journey in terms of building our game style and developing our players that there's so much work to be done on that week in, week out. And the great thing, regardless of players coming in and out of the side with injury, we've had to access, right down deep into our squad, and to be able to still mount those wins as we've gone along is just great feedback, and gives us great energy and belief to keep going with the work that's gotten us there.
You mentioned after the Giants game, I think you guys are unbeaten on the road and that the team likes travelling together. How do you bring that form home?
Oh, I don't think it's necessarily that we like travelling together and hate being at home together. But no, I'm more so speaking about when we travel, young group, we love getting away on the road, the excitement of travelling, and, it makes you feel like a professional outfit when you go on the road, because you are doing everything together. So I think we relish that opportunity. In terms of at home, I think Brisbane was a really tough opposition here at home. We had a good first up performance against Richmond, and then we're a bit inconsistent against another good team in Essendon. So, I think our focus, like it is when we're on the road this week, is just being able to have individual accountability for how we turn up and perform, and then just going after our game style, trying to continue to develop it and play it more consistently.
There are a couple of teams that have kind of proven to be powerhouses sort of this year with their performances. North Melbourne, Lions being another one. How far off would you say that this group is for that sort of performance, and can that gains be made prior to finals should you be successful in getting through?
I don't think we're that far off. I think it's the impressive thing about those teams is they're able to turn up week in, week out, season after season, with a mindset of wanting to improve and get better. So that is what we aspire to be, and we're making some great steps towards that. But in terms of game style, those kind of things, it can change quickly, and we're just living in the what can we do right now. If we keep doing that, keep focusing on how individuals can improve, how we can get the best out of them and improve as a coaching group, and how we can improve our overall game style. If we keep having days like that, weeks like that, getting there and being able to contend with them will just happen as a byproduct of that.
One player that has been really consistent, new recruit, Ellie Drennan. Maybe Ellie can share what she's brought to the group and playing alongside her. Yeah,
she's been an unreal pickup. I think we kind of needed someone with a bit of experience. So having Dreno come across, I think she's played 60-something games, is super important for a young midfield. I'm learning a lot off her, and I feel like we have a lot of connection on the field. So it's really good to see that she's playing really consistent football and getting a lot of recognition, which she really deserves.
Daisy, what do you think about the ball tracking technology, more so in the wake of what happened in that Gold Coast game?
I honestly haven't spent that much time thinking about it. We haven't had that many in our games, and I guess you just get a bit tunnel vision and focus on what's happening in your own lane. But I honestly haven't sought any feedback on it or been too privy to the ins and outs of what's happening with it. But probably not positioned to comment.
Yeah, well, good. And in terms of Port this week, what do you make of them? They had a good win on the weekend.
Yeah, good win on the weekend, and their win-loss probably belies how their season's gone. They've had some really tough opponents along the journey, and statistically they stack up really well as a good contest team. They're in every game, so Even against, Adelaide, North Melbourne's a bit different, a really wet day, but they've been in every game, even the ones they've lost. So we're expecting a team that will be really strong around the contest. They'll put our defence under pressure because they kick the ball to a number of strong marking targets. They go really direct, and they defend pretty well themselves. So they're going to be a challenge, but one that we look forward to taking on at home.
And Roxy, what did you make of her first game for the club?
Oh, it was just great to see her out there and smiling. She's, not been able to play a lot of footy over recent times. She's had a really consistent pre-season. Unfortunate that she broke her hand the last training before round one, but since we got her here, her dedication and commitment to our group and her preparation has been elite, and I think she'll just keep building. I thought her game was pretty good. She's a great target. Like I know when someone like Ella picks the ball up out of a stoppage under pressure, to see Roxy one-on-one is a really good target to kick at because she's effective in the air and then really dangerous at ground level. So it was great to have her out there and get through, and it'll be good to see her back up again this week.
In her first AFLW season, she looked like an absolute superstar in the making. Do you think that under this environment now and with a good run injury-wise that she can get to that sort of level? Do you see that potential in her still?
I'm sure she can, but we don't need her to be a superstar. We just need her to play her role, give us a really good target ahead of the ball, compete really hard like she always does, and then chase and tackle when the ball hits the deck. Just keep turning up and trying to improve like everyone else. So if that lands her in superstar status, we'll take it. But if she just plays her role, we'll be happy with that as well. And
given her injuries, it's been almost 2 years since she's kicked an AFLW goal. What do you think the celebrations will be like when she breaks that? They'll be big.
Daisy, maybe one of the most impressive things has been the scoring, like particularly you guys, and 10 goals. Is there something that you've done, was that something you focused on, or is that just a product of the new better connection, or how's that happened?
It's been a focus. We've, introducing a new game style, we've kind of rolled out our contest method, our defence and our offence, so it's definitely been a focus. But I think it's just the overall development of fundamentals, the amount of work these girls have put in, starting in the middle of January, coming into work on their fundamentals early and can just practice. And then probably an element of some structural change as well. In the past, we've often played with a spare defender to shore up our defence, but because our backs have been doing such a good job one-on-one and we're not needing to give them the support this season, it enables us to set the ground up in a different way that allows us to attack a bit more. So I think it's a combination of the hard work these guys have put in and a bit of structural and game style shift.
And just on the defence, Sophie McDonald been battling concussion. Are you expecting her to be back this season, or is this something a long-term?
We're hopeful she will be. Obviously it was a longer concussion, the one that she was out with previously. She missed a number of weeks, and then unfortunate in her return game that she got another concussion. So when that happens, and they happen in quick succession, it activates a process that's outside of the club, so through the AFL. So Soph's just in that process at the moment, and we're doing everything we can to support her. It's been great to have her back around the club and a part of our program again, but there's just some boxes to be ticked, similar to what Emily Elkington went through with her outcome being an unfortunate one in that she'll miss the rest of the season. But she's buzzing around at training like she could be selected tomorrow. But yeah, Soph's on a similar journey now, so we just wait and see and support her in the meantime. Keep our fingers crossed.
What's Emily's involvement going to be in the program going forward?
She's flat out. She's not allowed to play, and we're mindful of the amount of contact drills that she goes in. But aside from that, she's a big part of training and wants to just keep improving to give herself every chance as her career unfolds.
You broke another record on the weekend, and I know it's a few weeks away, but the Derby, you've never beaten Freo. Is that another record you've got your eye on?
Not yet. Port Adelaide first. But no, it's an exciting opportunity, more around the event and telethon. I know that there's a lot of work going in behind the scenes, and whilst in footy, as Ella said before, you play 1 week at a time. Something like that, as it gets closer, we'll do everything we can to support it, given how important the telethon charity is. We'll be riding behind it, trying to make it the biggest spectacle possible, and look forward to it when that week rolls around.
pretty memorable for you last time, Ella, wasn't it? You had a standout performance, I guess. Is something different or special when you play against Freo?
Oh, I haven't even thought about Freo yet, to be honest, this year. Yeah, I love versing them personally. It's always a good rivalry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think I'm just focused on this week at the moment.
But no, anyone who's getting their calendars ready for in 3 weeks' time, get down to Leaderville Oval, because let's get as many people there to see the Derby, but also support the Talison as well.